Components are elements you can use again and again in your designs. And how do you make a component? You do so by selecting the element, suppose this button that you want to make a component, and then you go over to here in this icon and click this to make a component. Or what you can do is use the shortcut Control, Alt, and G. And how do you know it's a component? Well, we can look closely. There's this 4 diamonds on the top of it, and that's how we can identify that this is a component. You will also see that on the left side panel. Now, if I duplicate this, I will see in the left side panel that there is a hollow diamond beside it, and this is called an instance. Suppose I have 200 instances in my design, and I want to change the color from blue to red. Instead of going in separately for all the buttons, I can go into the component, the master component, and change the color from blue to red, and all the instances will be changed to red too. So changes you make to the component will also be seen in the instance. Now let's change all of this back to blue. Now what if you need another button but with a slightly different color, like for maybe hover state? To make a variant, all we have to do is click on the main component, and from here we can add a variant. Let's rename this to hover and change the color to a little, change the color. It's a bit too light. Yeah, this. So we have changed the color to this. So variants allow you to group similar components into a single container. And how do you know that this is a variant? Well, if I click on this from the right side panel, I will see a filled diamond, which also says variant. Now, if you want to change the text of this instant, maybe you want to add an icon, maybe you want to change the icon to something else, what we have to do is use component properties. To apply component properties, click the component that you want the properties applied to. Now, in this corner, you will see a plus icon beside properties. If we click this, we can see 4 properties. These are text, Boolean, and instance swap. So if we want to change the text, we are going to choose the text. And already there's a name created, and the value we assign here, that value is going to be assigned here too. So if we write label create property, nothing happened, right? So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to apply these properties to the variants and the components. How do we do that? We select the buttons, we select the text here, and then what we do is we go over here, apply variable or properties, click, and then under properties and buttons, we press. Like I said, the label has been applied to the component, the instance, and the variant. If we click on the instance, we can see that a label has been created here. Now, if we want to change the text of this button from label to buy now, all we have to do is type buy now here, and it will be changed in the instance. Now, what if we want to add an icon? I have these 2 icons here, you will see. So in this frame, we will see 2 icons. These icons, they are both frames. For this to work, you must, and I repeat, you must have these as variants, or you must have these as components. So I'm just going to click on both of them, and I am going to create multiple components. Okay, and now I want to add icons to my buttons. I'm just going to drag, holding Alt, and then I'm going to put it here. So we can see that we have a icon. I'm going to do the same for this. So we want to be able to hide or show the icon in the button. To do so, what we have to do is click on the button component, and then click on properties, choose Boolean, and from here we will name this as icon yes. So we will create a property, and now we have to assign this property to the icon. So what we are going to do is the same thing. We will choose the icons, and then from the appearance tab, we can see here, we can apply variable or properties. If we click on this, we will see the property that we created, and we're going to choose icon yes. And now what happens if I do that? If we click on the instance of this component, we can see that we can toggle the icon on and off. So what if you want to change this icon? You can't just copy and paste it from somewhere else. What we have to do is use the icon swap property. To do so, we click on the buttons, components, and then from this plus icon, we choose the instance swap property. We rename it to icon, and then from this dropdown in value, we have to choose the icons that we already made. I'm going to choose the add circle icon and create the property. Now, what we have to do is we have to use this property in the component. We're going to go over to the buttons component. We are going to choose the icons, and then over here, we will see this icon, apply instance swap property, click icon 2, And then what we will be able to do is we will be able to change our icons from here. This will save you so much time. Now, you can also find this free Figma file for button states and components. The link is in the description. Now, if you like this video, subscribe and like.